If you're advertising or posting on social media, I want to share with you some best practice do's and don'ts so you can get the most out of your efforts. My name is Michael Pasha. I am the founder and creative director at Michael Pasha Media. We're a patient lead generation company that helps healthcare providers increase their caseloads and get more patients into their practices and clinics. So some of the things that I want to share here is about social media ads and posts, best practices and do's and don'ts, right? So some things you definitely want to do when you're posting or you're putting ads on social media is you want to make sure you're focused on the specific problem of the person that you're trying to talk to. I see a lot of people talking about their services. They focus on features and benefits. A lot of times they're saying things that aren't necessarily directly relevant to the person who may be listening. And so what you want to do is kind of figure out, like, what are the big problems that patients are having with whatever service that you provide, and talk about those specific problems in your ads and in your social media posts. I help people get rid of this specific problem and how you go about doing it. So it makes it specific, and the person will be a lot more likely to be engaged because they know this thing is specifically talking to them. Some things you don't want to do is using too much industry jargon. So a lot of times I see people making videos and putting posts up there that are full of industry jargon that a lot of times patients don't understand. They don't know what you're talking about. They get confused, and when people get confused, they tune out and they go to find something else to pay attention to. So speak in a way that's just very conversational. It doesn't talk over people's heads, and make sure that the industry jargon is at a very, very minimal if you have to use it at all. The next thing for do's is you want to talk about the benefits of whatever it is that you're solving. So the person has a problem. You want to address the fact that you can help them solve that problem, and then you want to focus on the benefits that they're going to get from that solution. So how's it going to improve their life, right? And you want to touch on these things from an emotional standpoint. Is it going to give them more energy? Is it going to give them the ability to play with their kids when now they can't do that? Is it going to prevent them from having to spend a whole lot of money on other procedures? Like, what are those benefits there? Not necessarily the features of what exactly you're going to do, because people don't really care about those kind of nitty-gritty features. They care about what it's going to do for their life and how it's going to improve their life. Some things you don't want to do is to assume what your patients are willing to pay for. A lot of times I talk to people and they want to target certain demographics when it comes to advertising, and they have kind of an idea in their head of what certain people are willing to pay for and what certain people are not willing to pay for. And what I found in my experience is it's really hard to tell, right? You have a lot of people who have a lot of money, but they may not necessarily be willing to pay for your service, where you have someone else who may really see the value and they'll find a way to pay for the service. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't want to figure out who your ideal client is and who are the people who are most likely to pay for the service, but don't make assumptions necessarily right away before you get some actual data to back it up with who is going to be willing to pay for the service, because that information may actually surprise you. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you have a call to action in your video. So if you're going to have a video or you're going to have some sort of post, make sure you're asking the people to do something with it. Or do you want them to call your office? Do you want them to read some other blog post? Do you want to watch another video, subscribe to your YouTube channel, whatever it may be, because people need direction, right? They want to know, what am I supposed to do with this information? Something you don't want to do is you don't want to spend too much time talking about yourself. You do want to give some information so they know who you are and they can kind of familiarize themselves with you or your practice or your clinic and kind of briefly what you do, but don't focus the entire piece of content on that, because really the thing that's interesting to people is, I have a problem. Can you help me solve that problem? Do you have some ideas? Do you have some things that might benefit me? And go about it that way. So thanks a lot for listening to this, watching this video. If you have any questions about advertising and you want to find out more about how we do things at Michael Pasha Media, shoot me a message on Facebook or on LinkedIn, or reply to the comments in this video, and we can have a little chat about the services I provide and how I can help your business grow. Thanks a lot and have a great day.